Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, June 9th. It is 7:03 p.m. This is a regular meeting of the Town Council. Will everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Following Town Council members are present in chambers: Persico, Kohut, Mauer, Lapellis, Formicella, Wales, Duva. The following Town Council member is absent: O'Rourke. Mr. First Selectman, can you check if Council Member Reed is in the waiting?
Yeah.
Council Member Reed is present remotely.
We do. We have Councilmember Reed and Library Director Nicole Signoli has just been cleared to speak.
Thank you very much. So we have 8 members of Town Council present this evening. Moving on to item 3, public hearing. Item A, the 2025 Neighborhood Act Assistance Program pursuant to Connecticut General Statutes, Section 12-632. The Town Council shall conduct a public hearing to receive input on proposals submitted for consideration for the 2025 Neighborhood Assistance Act program. At this time, it is 7:05 p.m. I am opening the public hearing regarding the 2025 Neighborhood Act Assistance Program. Is there any member of the community that would like to participate at this time during this public hearing regarding any application being wished to be submitted under this program?
There are none waiting, Mr. Chairman, just so you know, online.
Thank you. So there are none online. Is there any member of the public that is here this evening in Town Council chambers that would like to participate during this public hearing regarding the 2025 Neighborhood Act Assistance Program? Hearing none, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing at 7:06 p.m. Moving on to item number 4, our consent calendar. If there's no objection, I'm going to pass the consent calendar as presented. Hearing no objection, I'm passing the consent calendar as presented. Item 5, communications. I ask that communication items A through N be incorporated into the minutes of our meeting. Moving on to item 6, public participation. I will begin with those who are in Town Council chambers. Is there any member of the public that would like to participate at our meeting this evening? Seeing none. Hearing none. Mr. First Selectman, is there, moving to those who are here remotely, is there any member of the community that is indicating that they wish to participate during our Town Council meeting at this time?
Mr. Chairman, there's nobody that is online. Just double check this here for a second. No, sir.
Thank you. I'm closing public participation. We have no appointments this evening. Moving on to item 8, our action items, Town Council Committee on Finance, Education, Health, and Public Safety matters. Madam Vice Chair.
We have not had a meeting in a while.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item B, Town Council Committee on Planning, Zoning, Public Works, and Park and Recreation matters. Councilmember Duva.
Not met since our last meeting.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item C, Town Council Committee on Legislative and Administrative matters. Councilmember Reed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We did meet tonight. We met on, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items. They range from the IDEMIA Identity and Security USA LLC renewal to snow plowing, de-icing. There's actually 2 of those in front of us tonight. 2025 Neighborhood Assistance Act program applications, an emergency medical services administrator job, as well as a Department of Public Works highway job descriptions, the Cintas Workplace Solutions Agreement, and Community Center Site Gym wall repair contract all reach consensus to come to council.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item D, Strategic Plan Committee. Since our last town council meeting, I had the opportunity in the last week of May to attend the Ad Hoc Facilities Committee regarding Board of Education facilities. At that meeting, the discussion centered around the use of St. Jude, the former St. Jude School, as a potential option for relief for the Board of Education in providing classroom and or other office or space to the Board of Education for their use. St. Jude School was incorporated into the analysis by the contractor hired by the Board of Education. During that meeting, it was discussed the dollar figure regarding the renovations of St. Jude School to meet the needs assessed by the contractor in consulting with the Board of Education and their original job description of what the analysts were going to put together. In putting that together, they deemed that there would be a significant addition depending on how the school would be used, meaning what level of school it would be used, addressing the number of grades in the school. At that meeting, the Board of Education members on the ad hoc committee dismissed the use of St. Jude's School for any purpose. So they will no longer be pursuing any option with St. Jude's School included in their preferred plan for their space needs. I think there was, there was gratitude for the first selectman putting it on the table, being included in the analysis. But ultimately, the Board of Education members were not supportive of using St. Jude's School for not schooling purpose, nor any office purpose. So that would be the update from them. It's my understanding that this information and the recommendation that the three members voted on the ad hoc committee will remain unchanged from their prior vote, and that the Board of Education is now considering their options and path forward at this time. The ad hoc committee has not been dissolved at this time and will meet as needed. And so that is my update for our strategic plan committee. Moving on to item E, Open Space Preservation and Acquisition Committee. It's my understanding that committee has not met to discuss any pending purchases, and so there's no update from that committee. I'm moving now to item F, which is our first selectman's update. Mr. Rooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In operations, MetroCog, an update on the Pura docket. MetroCog filed a motion to intervene and submitted the notice of intent to apply for stakeholder compensation. The motion to intervene was granted by Pura on May 27th. In addition to MetroCog, which is representing Monroe's interest in funding this initiative, several other parties filed intervener motions. The parties include 5 municipalities outside of MetroCog: New Canaan, Ridgefield, Shelton, Wilton, and Westport. Westcog, Save the Sound, the Connecticut Attorney General's Office, and the Connecticut Water Company and the State of Connecticut Department of Public Health have also. Massac High School intern program. Jonah, a student from Massac High School, has been interning here the past year, has been a tremendous help to Town Hall. He recently had his last visit for the year, and we greatly appreciate his contributions and hope he'll return next school year. It's been a pleasure having him with us. This probably should be in emergency services, but it's here. Law enforcement torch run for the Special Olympics. The Monroe Police Department participates every year in a run through the streets in support of the Special Olympics. This year, law enforcement runners were met with open arms by many citizens cheering them on their journey of passing the torch to our neighboring towns of Trumbull and Shelton. Emergency services update. Monroe Volunteer Emergency Services open house. Over the weekend, the Monroe Volunteer Services had an open house at our EMS facility. It was great to see everyone supporting our EMS, who is so important to Monroe. As I spoke with the different professionals, I learned about new technology that allows paramedics to give blood during patient travel to the hospital, which will potentially save lives. Also, I spoke in length with our EMS administrator, Lisa Payne, about her fall protection program, which is a proactive effort to prevent falls. Falls are a significant amount of call volume in Monroe. Capital projects, community center site. Tonight on the council agenda is an approval for the bid of the gym wall repair. If this body approves this, will be a big step in making the building viable for activities in the gym. Community update, Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. The annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event put on by the Center for Family Justice was held on May 31st. I was not in attendance. However, Detective Stacy Cascante of the Monroe Police Department was given an award for her continued support in the fundraiser walk. Thank you to the Monroe Police Department for their continued support, the Center for Family Justice, who does so much for Monroe. Monroe Chamber of Commerce Golf Tournament. I had the pleasure of attending the annual Chamber of Commerce Golf Tournament at Whitney Farms. The Chamber plays an important role in supporting our town, and I was glad to be part of this meaningful event. Pride. The annual Pride flag raising was conducted on Saturday. I attended after leaving the EMS event. Saw many happy faces celebrating the day. Thank you, Councilwoman Persico, for being Master of Ceremonies, and Councilman Jason Maurer for donating his DJ skills. State Representative Tony Scott and Superintendent Cobza spoke on the great community we have in Monroe. Commendation. Over the weekend, Aiden Tiberio received the honor of Eagle Scout, which many aspire but few attain. Aiden Tiberio did work in Stratford on an airplane hangar, which he redid, which is going to help training with military personnel. The Barnum Festival. I attended the Barnum Festival celebration in Stevenson. Great music, activities, and fun for all. The card show was attended, and I spoke on behalf of my childhood memories of the Barnum Festival and the Ringmaster ceremonies in Bridgeport. The Barnum Festival represents a celebration of P.T. Barnum, the original influencer, showman, and founder of the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. And finally, and maybe one of the most important parts of this update, is state legislation. I leave state legislation up to our state legislators. However, I felt it was important this council understands what's occurring. This HB 5002, which is House Bill 5002, this legislation is in the governor's hands after it passed through the Connecticut House of Representatives and the Senate. This bill has been rejected by many state representatives and senators, regardless of affiliation. Senators Perillo and Senator Wilcox, along with Senators State Representative Scott, have voted no against this bill. Although their efforts made a significant impact on a final version, I recommend this council read this bill to understand the large potential impact it will have on Monroe. If approved by the governor, commercial properties will be able to develop housing without our town planning and zoning oversight. So if you do have any questions, I suggest, just to get the best answers, up-to-date answers, call either Senator Perillo, Senator Sujata Wilcox, or State Representative Tony Scott for further information. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. With regard to this, the House Bill 5002, I don't know what the rest of the council's position is. Perhaps we can discuss it at some point. But would it make sense if we have kind of a consensus of opposition to send a letter from the town council to the governor's office indicating our dislike potentially of this bill?
Sure. I mean, what I would say at this point is that's not something we really have done in the past. But what I would say is I will refer this matter, a discussion regarding HB 5002 to our Planning, Zoning, Public Works, and Park and Recreation Subcommittee to discuss a potential plan forward. I think it'd be most appropriate to begin there at this point.
Very well.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, go ahead.
if I may, we actually have in the past sent, but your first step is consistent with how we got to that position in the past, and that based off, I forget which commission it came from or on which issues, but it has happened a couple of times, that based off of the interpretation from, in this case, our planning and zoning and our town planning, they would provide an opinion to council, and council based off of that have sent a letter or made a, basically, I don't know the legal term, Frank, or procedural term I know you may have been a part of when council has done this in the past, of putting something just on the record of an opposition or in support to send to the state.
All right, so while we get more answers on that and the history of the council doing it, I'm going to send it to our subcommittee, and our subcommittee can discuss it amongst themselves, as well as reaching out to, I think, our planning and zoning administrator, as well as our town attorney, I think would be able to give, and our state representatives, and our senators, to kind of give a holistic view of what the impact of the bill would be on the town of Monroe before the governor decides either to sign it or to veto it.
But I might recommend at the chair's discretion is that our town council committee on planning and zoning meet with that commission to be able to provide.
You mean the Plains Zoning Commission?
Correct.
As well.
Mr. Chairman, if I may intervene just for a second. The one situation that I think it's important that this council takes into consideration is that I believe the governor has 10 days to act on this. So
Yeah.
it's a very short window.
Time sensitive.
Yes, and we are only a few days in, so I think, I'll be under normal circumstances, moving into that subcommittee may be prudent. I think in this situation, it isn't, it's going to be decided on prior to those meetings, so I didn't know if you were aware of that condition, so I just wanted to make that condition.
Might we ask our town attorney his opinion on what the council can and can't do at this juncture?
We would like to opine.
Excuse me. Certainly, we know prohibition against the town council with chairman's discretion calling for consensus and sending any type of correspondence to the governor's office from this body. But as far as your ability to incorporate the opinions of other boards and commissions and administrators into that opinion without having another meeting would be quite difficult, unless you just authorize the subcommittee to act in that fashion after getting the consensus, and then through the chair sending the letter up. You could do it that way, but like Mr. Rooney said, it's time sensitive. It have to happen the next.
By the time the letter's sent, it would be a moot point.
So here's the issue that I have with not doing anything tonight, right? Is I can speak for myself. I didn't read the entire bill yet. And so I don't know how many people have on this council. So to call for a vote as to whether we support or oppose that, I don't think would be prudent this evening. I could ask that the subcommittee meet maybe this week, and then we can have a special meeting to discuss any type of action or letter, because if we vote on anything, we'll have to be in agreement on the language of it, correct? So probably not best to do it this evening, but why don't we work on having a subcommittee meeting this week, and then I can call for a special meeting on a one-item agenda in the near future, and we could do it remotely, so it could happen more quickly, okay?
Okay.
I think that would be a great procedure. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll move forward with that. I'm going to ask that Councilmember Duva engage with our planning and zoning administrator, our town attorney, and any other relevant parties, including our first selectman, and our state representative and senators, to get as much information about this bill as possible this week, have a meeting this week, and come to a consensus as to what recommendation the subcommittee would make to the town council regarding any position the town council should or should not have regarding this bill. As for language, after the subcommittee has come to a consensus on overall response, I would ask the subcommittee submit some language related to proposed letter, and that will be reviewed by the town council at a special meeting to be scheduled shortly after subcommittee meeting. Okay.
My best. It's asking a lot in a short time frame.
Yes, so, all right. And that's all it for action items. We're gonna move on to unfinished business this evening. We have no unfinished business this evening. Moving on to new business item 25-075, Madam Vice Chair.
Resolution 25-075, resolved that the 2025 Neighborhood Assistance Act program applications from the Community and Social Services Department for the Project Warmth and Food Pantry programs and from Monroe EMS for the Community Fall Prevention programs are hereby approved.
Thank you. There's a motion to adopt resolution 25-075. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by, Councilmember Kohut. Mr. First Selectman, discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The town of Monroe is participating in the 2025 Neighborhood Assistance Act NAA program, which benefits municipal agencies and community nonprofit organizations through a state tax credit. Applications are received from the Community and Social Services Department for the Project Warmth and Food Pantry programs and for Monroe EMS for Community Fall Prevention programs. As required by the NAA program, public hearing is required as a condition precedent to town council approval, which we know it had. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 25-075, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 8-0. Moving on to item B.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Before we move on, if I may ask the chair's discretion, one item on the consent calendar that I meant to address before it was passed, if I make a quick amendment just regarding a typo to make sure it's corrected for the record.
LLC.
Sure, go ahead.
I just moved that the resolution 25-072 as passed through the consent calendar be amended to identify the party as it is correctly identified in the contract as IDEMIA Identity and Security USA LLC, not LCC, so that it's accurate for the record.
So Councilmember Mauer, the only thing I would say is in our agenda, it does identify the correct party, and that was.
It does not. It is LCC in the agenda as well.
Which one? Oh, in D, I'm sorry, I thought you said that. So in D, so there is a motion to amend our consent agenda's resolution 25-072 to read Endemia Identity and Security USA LLC instead of LCC. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair LaPellis. Any other discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting that amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 8-0. All right, anything else?
That's it. Thank you
Thank you.
for the indulgence.
Moving on to item B, resolution 25-076, Madam Vice Chair.
I move that the town council adopt resolution 25-076, resolved that the town council hereby approves the EMS administrator job description and authorizes the first selectman to implement as soon as possible.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. First Selectman, discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Craig Rosenberg, Chief of EMS, requested that the EMS administrator position be changed from part-time to full-time based on the needs of the EMS department. The full-time position was approved in the fiscal year 25-26 budget. If you have any questions, Mr. Rosenberg is here to answer them. Thank you.
Any other discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 25-076, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 8-0. Moving on to item C, resolution 25-077, Madam Vice Chair.
I move the town council adopt resolution 25-077, resolved that the town council hereby approves the Department of Public Works highway job descriptions and authorizes the first selectman to implement as soon as possible and practical.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason Mauer. Mr. First Selectman, discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Public Works jobs descriptions are being updated per the new highway union collective bargaining agreement. The positions of Parks crew leader is new, and the positions of Parks maintainer, maintainer 2, maintainer 3, and maintainer 4 have updated titles and minor adjustments. The changes are effective July 1st, 2025, per the collective bargaining agreement. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 25-077, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 8-0. Moving on to item D, resolution 25-078. Madam Vice Chair.
I move the town council adopt resolution 25-078. Resolved that Terrence P. Rooney, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe the Facility Solutions Agreement and any associated documents by and between Stintus for services at the town hall, library, and parks and recreation facilities. Be it further resolved that the town council waives number 4-3 of the town's purchasing policy with respect to this matter.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason Mauer. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. During the budget preparation process, Cintas, the vendor that currently provides the town with floor mats, carpets, advised the town that they are able to provide the town with no increased pricing for a 5-year term. As a participating public agency pursuant to a master agreement with the University of Nebraska, Cintas has provided a single workplace solutions agreement that encompasses the town hall, PD, Edith Wheeler Memorial Library, and Parks and Recreation facilities. The town attorney has reviewed this agreement and has provided his attached letter of opinion. And both Public Works Director and Assistant Director Chris Nowacki and Bill Phillips are here if you have any questions.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this item?
I just have one question,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair. And that is relative to whether or not this would also cover the St. Jude space once we are in it, assuming that happens during the contract period.
As of right now, we're not there, but Bill, Chris, that would be included if?
Should it be necessary, we can utilize the contract and for the pricing for it.
Thank you.
It would avail us the opportunity.
That was the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 25-078, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 8-0. Resolution, item E, resolution 25-079. Madam Vice Chair.
I move the town council adopt resolution 25-079. Resolved that Terrence P. Rooney, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe the community center site gym wall repair contract and any associated documents by and between Titan Enterprises for the gym wall repair.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Purcell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Earlier this year, the town issued a request for proposal, RFP, for the community center site gym wall repair contract. 4 bids were received, one of which was determined to be acceptable by our Public Works Assistant Director, Bill Phillips, included for your review and consideration as a contract, which incorporates the RFP document and proposal as submitted. The one thing I would like to add is that through the bidding process, we did see a significant savings from the original projection. And I believe this bid was as low as 485. The bids were upwards to from 5 to 790. Our original anticipation was in the 800 range, Bill, I believe, something like that for the wall, 8 and change. So this purchase, albeit contractors have to do their job well, this is a significant savings for the town in this project. So thank you.
Thank you. Other discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 25-079, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 8-0. That's it for new business. There are no unfinished matters, unfinished business. There are no unfinished matters, new business. There is no second public participation. I am adjourning this meeting at 7:33 p.m. Thank you all. I will see you sooner than 2 weeks.